Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope you had a good week, and I look forward to a wonderful Shabbos. This week's Erev Shabbos video is Dvar Torah is sponsored by Kevin and Jody Kaufman in memory of Kevin's father, Tzvi ben Chanan Zichrono Livracha, whose yahrzeit was observed on the 26th of Iyar, and also in memory of Jody's mother, Alana Bat Hilda Zichrono Livracha, whose yahrzeit will be on Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Both of their neshama should have an aliyah, and we thank both Kevin and Jody for the sponsorship. Yesher Koach. Today is Yom Yerushalayim, the day that we remember and thank Hashem for the miracles of the Six-Day War in general, in particular for the reconquering, reunifying of Yerushalayim, that we have the Kotel and all of the holy places that Hashem gave us back at that time. And I wish everyone a Yom Yerushalayim Sameach. And along those lines, I'd like to share with you a thought connected to Yerushalayim, but then bring it back to Tefillah, to davening, which is the theme of this year's Erev Shabbos videos of our Torahs. Tehillim Per Kuf Chaf Bet describes a person who is traveling to visit Yerushalayim, presumably on one of the Shalosh Regalim. And what is interesting about this paragraph of Tehillim is that it doesn't actually describe what the person sees or experiences when he or she actually reaches Yerushalayim, what goes on the grounds of the Beis Hamikdash, the crowds in the city, the celebrations, but rather it's a description of getting to Yerushalayim. Shir HaMalos, LeDavid, Samachti ba'omrim li Beis Hashem nelech. I was so happy when they told me we're going to visit the house of God, the Beis Hamikdash. Pack, get ready, next week we'll be leaving to travel to Yerushalayim. At that time they would be traveling by foot or an animal. And then we are transported to the moment when they get to the outskirts of the city, to the walls surrounding Yerushalayim. Omnos hayu ragleinu, and then our feet, we were standing. Bisharayach Yerushalayim, at the gates of Jerusalem. And when the person is at the gate and looking down and seeing the city, he exalts Yerushalayim habnuya kir shechubra layachtav, the beautiful, built, united Jerusalem. Shesham alu shvatim shifteka. The great city where the tribes come, the great city where the house of David rests. Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim, seek the peace, the welfare of Jerusalem. Let there be peace in your walls, in your towers. For the sake of my brothers and my friends, I seek your peace. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I seek only that which is good for you. So the Parak of Tehillim is a description of the person beginning the journey in his home city, and then there is the implicit walk and travel until the person reaches the gates of Yerushalayim, and then says these words of praise and prayer for the city of Jerusalem. In other words, this Parak of Tehillim is not so much about being in Yerushalayim, but getting there. The pilgrimage, there was something so exciting about traveling alone with your family, with other groups of people, connecting with people on the road, coming up the days before Yontiv. The idea of a pilgrimage is something that is deep inside the soul of every human. We find it in many other religions and faiths. There's something about traveling, getting to the holy place, not so much the destination, but how you get there. And it is that idea that I would like to apply to davening. There is a concept of schar halicha, not just being in shul, not just davening, but how you get there. The Gemara Bava Metzia records a discussion, a debate of how to understand some of the blessings found in the Torah, in the book of Devarim. And in particular, one blessing is Baruch atah ba'ir, Baruch atah b'sadeh. You'll be blessed in the city and blessed in the field. Blessed in the field means a good year's crop. What does it mean blessed in the city? Rav says to be blessed in the city means location, location, location. You have a house in a good place. What specifically? Shekarv lebeisa knesses, samach lebeisa knesses. You live near the shul, and so it's not difficult to get to shul and to come to shul and to participate. But Rav Yochanan disagrees. Rav Yochanan has a different interpretation. But he says, you know what? There are advantages to live not right next to the shul. Rav Yochanan Taimei, Rav Yochanan follows his opinion to Amar, for he had said, Schar Pesios Yesh, that there is reward for every step that one takes when walking to Shul. Rashi says this is based on a story Masechah Sota, which perhaps some people learned recently in Daf Yomi. Rav Yochanan says that there was a certain almana, a widow, an older woman who would always come to his shul where Rabbi Yochanan was the rabbi every Shabbos. And he knew her, and she was older, and it was hard for her to walk, and he knew that there was another shul closer to where she lived. He didn't know why she was coming to his shul. He didn't want her to feel obligated that she had to come to his shul. Amarle said to her, Biti, Madam, Lo Beis HaKnesses B'Shivu Seich, isn't there a shul in your neighborhood closer to where you are? Why are you exerting yourself? You don't have to walk so far. That's another wonderful shul. Amarle, she said to him, Rabbi, Velo Schar Psios Yeshli, but don't I get reward for every step? The walking is not a burden. I enjoy the walk to shul. Every step I get closer to shul. There is a certain excitement and joy. It focuses me. And I know I will receive reward for each of those steps. Walking to shul is a beautiful thing. Seeing a person walking to shul, focused, when you see different people coming from different directions, all coming in the direction of shul, seeing a couple walking to shul, seeing a parent with a child or children walking to shul, there's something extremely beautiful and sweet about it, and also something holy. There is something called schar halicha. Walking to shul, we can already be getting in the mindset of, I'm going to shul. I'm going to the house of Hashem, as David HaMelech said in Tehillim. I'm going to go talk to Hashem, talk to God. And we can increase our focus, increase our connection. Samachti bo'omrim li beis Hashem neilech. We are going to the house of God. We can think that and feel that every time we come to shul. You lose it a little bit during the week, at least if you're driving to shul, that's my experience. But when you're walking to shul, especially on Shabbos, there can be a sense of we are on a pilgrimage. We are walking to the house of God. And having that mindset already during our walk can make us even more connected, more elevated, more inspired when we are davening in shul. It's not only what we do in shul, just like it wasn't only about being in Yerushalayim. David HaMelech is describing the experience of someone who is traveling, who is getting there. There's so much inspiration and connection and holiness in the travel. So too, Schar Halicha, the widow that taught Rabbi Yochanan this lesson, and Rabbi Yochanan who taught it to the other sages. It is found implicitly in this parak of Tehillim. We should find meaning and inspiration, not just in shul, but when we are walking to shul. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, and I hope you will have a wonderful walk to shul this Shabbos.